let's talk about, first of all, faith in the workplace. And if a business is interested, to what extent can the owner legally incorporate Christian principles and values into their company's operations?
Good morning, everybody. I know you're excited to talk to a lawyer. Can you imagine how excited my wife is every morning getting to talk to a lawyer? Woo! So I'm excited to be here. The Lord is in this place, for sure. So we get this question a lot because we're all nervous and we don't want to get sued, and we want to do it right, and we want to make sure that we've kind of thought through these issues. But it is absolutely clear, legally speaking, that we have the right to express our views, our religious views, our faith statement. Lots of companies that we work with have statements of purpose or statements of faith that are God-inspired. And you should not back away from that. You should feel 100% comfortable in communicating what you're about. And I think, honestly, the sooner you do that, the better off you are. In other words, don't wait until there's an issue and then we say, say it now and express it now and communicate what that means to you. And we do that, frankly, through policy, through the way we communicate with our employees in our employee handbook. We've got lots of our clients that have, again, statements of purpose initially, and then we also have equal employment opportunity policies that say, listen, we are faith-based, but we're not going to discriminate. We don't discriminate. We understand what the law is. We can't discriminate against people based on their race or their color or their religious beliefs, even if their religious beliefs are not the same as ours. And you know what? As believers, we should embrace people who don't think the way we do. That is an opportunity for us to have a conversation about Jesus. Because whether you agree that Jesus is the Messiah or not, nobody can dispute that he's the greatest leader of all time. I mean, people are following him today, 2,000 years after he left us and after his spirit has remained here, right? I mean, if you look at the principles of Jesus, those are the things that Sean was talking about. Loving people, serving them. We are servants. Every one of you in this room is a servant to the people that you are blessed to employ or lead. You are their servants. You are there to help them get better, to help them improve, to help them have a life, and to encourage them. So we have equal employment opportunity laws. We also have anti-discrimination harassment laws that say, listen, we can't take adverse action because somebody doesn't believe the way we do. We can't retaliate against people because they don't attend our prayer group. We can't compel people, as Sean said, to go to church with us. We can't. We can invite. We can say, we want you, we'd love for you to come, but we cannot use our power in the relationship because you have the power. You have the authority. You have influence over their employment, over their compensation, over their benefits, over their promotional opportunities. So we cannot, and that becomes the issue, is when we start ostracizing people or treating them differently, that creates risk. And all of you in this room are in the risk business. And this is a risk issue. We should, and again, we don't want to compel people. If Jesus is lifted up, all people will be drawn to him. It's true. And we do that mainly in the way we serve, not in the way we talk. So feel comfortable with, we can do this. We can set a standard. We can say, this is what we're about. And honestly, that standard is higher than normal employers. And I represent lots and lots of employers and lots of industries. And those that I get a chance to work with that are doing it because the Lord's leading it, their purpose is higher, which means you work harder, you serve more, you get more frustrated, you lose more sleep because you care more deeply.
One question I was going to ask is, if we are implementing our Christian values, do we have to share or give equal time to other religions to be able to practice in our companies?
Yeah, it's a great question. So the answer is yes, we do. We can't just adopt a Christian worldview, even though we have one. If we have Muslim employees, we have a duty under Title VII of the 1964 Civil Rights Act to provide what's called reasonable accommodation to employees to exercise their sincerely held religious beliefs. Again, so if they want to go to temple or mosque or synagogue, and we're letting employees off to go to church, then we have to treat them the same. We have to accommodate them. And we see it in dress codes, we see it in time off activities, we see it in all of these areas. And so this is one of those areas that you need to navigate that. This is not, I know the answer. This is where you call your employment counsel and let them help you navigate through these issues, because you need help. We all need help in this area to make sure that we're doing it right. There's not a right answer on what's a reasonable accommodation, because everyone in this room would say, this is reasonable, or this is reasonable, or this is, and what we're trying to do is do the right thing, but we also don't want to get sued. I mean, we don't, right? Does anybody want to get sued? We don't. So we want to do this right. Now, does that mean we can do everything right and still get sued? Yes, we can still get sued. We know that when we go into business, that is a risk in every transaction that we have. But don't let that, again, just make sure that you've got clear policies, communicate, and you can't over-communicate your policies. It's my experience that most of you have an employee handbook, but you haven't looked at it in years, and your employees haven't looked at it in years. Your managers haven't looked at it in years. So we've got to go communicate with our leaders what we are committed to. You've got to train your supervisors and managers, because they're the ones that are going to get you in trouble. It's not going to be you. It's going to be your frontline leaders that are doing things that you don't want them to do. And so you got to train them, and you got to demonstrate, create evidence of that training, create evidence of these policies. That's what we're doing. We're preventing the problem. And then we go through this accommodation process. Religion is one of the two areas in the law where we have to provide accommodation. Employees with disabilities, we have to accommodate, and employees with sincerely held religious beliefs. So those are the only two areas where we have to accommodate, but we have to, okay?
Okay, final question is regarding customers. So regarding our interaction with customers, are there legal considerations that we as businesses need to incorporate regarding any, even signage or things like that, and again, expressing our beliefs?
Yeah, this is, Stephen was talking about the attack. This is where we're seeing attack, is where people with an agenda that's don't have the same worldview that we do, are challenging people who are in the service business, like cake makers in Colorado, web designers, and they're asking them to do things that violate their conscience. And they're asking them to participate in things, and then they're suing them because they don't adopt their worldview on sexual orientation or on marriage or on, these issues of the day that we are under assault about. So there are some great organizations like ADF, Alliance Defense Fund. There are lots of great organizations that are faith-based that are here to help employers. So if you believe that you're being pressured to do something that you don't want to do, that's inconsistent with your values, then there are resources for you to navigate through these issues, okay? But again, we can live our conscience. We can live our faith Even in the market, we don't have to do everything that the customer wants. The customer is not always right. Did you guys know that? They're not always right. We heard it that they're always right. They're not always right. The customer treats our employees with disrespect. We have to deal with that. The customer communicates inappropriately with our people. We have to deal with that. Especially if you're going to be doing this. Because your people are your most important resource, not your product. So again, that is an opportunity for you to continue. And guys, just invest in your people. I would tell you, talk to your leaders, make sure they understand what you expect, how you expect them to treat others, so that you have evidence of your commitment to run your business in a legally compliant way, but consistent with the values that you guys are here about, and we're all here about.
Okay, one final question,
Your
actually.
mic's off.
One final. This is my last one.
You promise?
I promise.
Okay.
What's the best part about what you do? Tell us a little bit about what you enjoy most.
The best part about what I do, I would say it's getting to crush people in depositions.
He's your guy.
I'm just kidding.
Don't you
It
want to hear
actually
that
might
from
be
your
one of my
attorney,
most
though?
favorite.
No.
I would say just the opportunity. I am blessed to have an opportunity to spend a lot of time training leaders, managers, and I spend, 100 days a year talking to leaders. I was at a credit union yesterday talking to all their leaders, about 120 of them, about leadership. And talking about these things, talking about how we lead, that we comply with the law, that we have ethical behavior, that we engage with our people. Did you know that your people spend more time at work, at least awake, than they do with their families? So every day is an important day. Every day is an important day for every leader to have an impact on those people. And they will leave because of leaders, and they will stay because of leaders. So the opportunity to invest in them, and we're all busy, but those things that you guys are doing in terms of investing in them, that's the best thing, I think. And it's the best thing I get to do as a lawyer, because most of what I deal with are conflict and lawsuits and charges, but getting a chance to talk to people about how to do this better, how to invest better, that's a really cool thing I get to do.
Awesome. Thank you,
Yep.
Kirk.